Hi, and welcome to Crash Course Cryptozoology. I've just gotten back from my first expedition for the documentary that I'm putting together, and so I've had Sasquatch on my mind for a week or two now. That's gotten me wanting to talk about a very specific alleged feature of Sasquatch behavior that I think is crucial to understanding the mystery. I will be quoting a specific sighting. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't find the sighting online anymore. I believed it was on the BFRO, but I can't find it now. If any of you know anything about this sighting and the specific quote, please do tell me, because I'd love to be able to talk about the person who had this experience, or at least name them. Before I talk about the alleged sighting, though, I'm going to introduce the concept that it relates to, which is the use of facial expressions among Sasquatch. Sasquatch, being an alleged species of great ape, essentially, would undoubtedly, if it exists, possess characteristics that other great apes have. Sightings can confirm this if, again, they actually do exist. Brow ridge, conical head, high shoulders, a lot of it is very anatomical. But some of it's also very behavioral, and I think that's where the really interesting tidbits lie. There are multiple sightings that would indicate that, again, if Sasquatches do exist, they are able to communicate very basic concepts through the use of facial expressions. And this is something that we find in great apes in general. I'll show a picture of a page from a primate book that I own, and this specific page really highlights the complex system that is used by many great apes like chimps and gorillas to communicate with one another, aside from either vocalizations or otherwise. Mostly these expressions are used to express emotions. When there is something troubling going on, it may be used to alert other chimps nearby, or other individuals, I should say, nearby. And some, perhaps, like the sadness expression, are more so just expressions that come internally rather than from a point of practical use in the group. We do know that they make deliberate facial expressions to communicate emotional concepts, and even to grab each other's attention. I'm now going to relay to you what I think might be the best piece of evidence that Sasquatch does the same. Again, there is a plethora of sightings that seem to really hold this up, but this one I always found to be the most perplexing. Again, I do not remember the name of this individual, but they were a very young kid in the 80s, and like all kids growing up in these areas, they were playing in the woods at night. I know that I grew up doing that. And one night, the witness came across what at the time he described as an ape man. And I believe the ape man was kneeling down in the forest doing something. It could have been looking for food, it could have been digging for something, who knows. The point is that they crossed paths, according to the story. And as the story goes, the ape man saw him and did something very odd. And this is the quote that I think will always stick with me. The witness describes it as, "It smiled like it was going to attack me." Shortly thereafter, the witness left, and there was luckily no violent confrontation of any kind. I'd like to leave you all with this particular image in that primate book that I mentioned earlier, and just remember the quote from the witness about how the animal smiled like it was going to attack him. That being said, until next time.